So good day. One of you asked if it's possible for her to place in a second level for her bedroom. So this is an example of how to represent your second level. So there's going to be a number of steps that you're going to create. This is the first level or the ground, and the second level is basically when you go up. Okay, so there's a symbol of a cut here. It means that you're cutting through the stairs about halfway, because this would represent the upper steps, which are these. And of course, the bed is on the upper part here, which is that. So these are examples of some apartments that I sourced out from ArcDaily. So when you look at these as references, but you need to understand also their activities of these people would differ from yours. So these are small apartments. Let's have a look at them and let's see what we can learn from them. So here, the numbers represent, of course, rooms or spaces. So this would be the kitchen, and this would be obviously the living area, because you can tell the space usage from the furniture. If there are sitting arrangements, there's a lounge area. So a person would be here. This is a kitchen, a small kitchen, and this is obviously the toilet and bath, TNB. Yes. Now here we can see a table of some sorts. Probably this is a desk for working. So it's a really tiny apartment. Now if we go through other works here, this particular apartment by Brad Swartz Architects. So you could see another example here for a small apartment. You have a living space on here, dining, a small dining for two, and a bedroom with an overhang thing, like shelves probably. This would be something like a partition, probably. So there's even a laundry here. So this is probably of course, the washing machine. So it's pretty small. So here's an odd one with a thick wall, probably old building. Okay, so the project here is the main entrance is going to be here. And the bathrooms accessibility is also here. Now, so this would serve as access for guests, so that the guest doesn't have to go through here. The shower area. This would be the water closet or toilet bowl. It doesn't look like it, but so very minimalist. And obviously this is where the TV is. So you can see the spaces here are arranged as such that if you try to do a wall like so, it would not be, it could work, yes, it could work, but it would be very tight. But what happened here is there's enough space for the bathroom area, and probably wanted more space here instead of this one. So what happened was it made some sort of more space for the dining area. It would have been tighter if it didn't happen this way. So the designer wanted to tilt the wall instead. Another example that's kind of interesting is that the closet space area for clothes. The clothes storage is a pull-out, so it comes out to here. You could pick up the clothes from just going out like that, and it's going to be presented as such. And then on the upper part of this storage is the placement of the bed. So here there are a couple of steps going up, and you could see this onto the picture. So it's just a minimal height. So the bed is level to a person if the person is standing. It's more like a a cubby type of bed arrangement. So this is the main door. You could see if a person is standing, it's kind of short. So that's a person standing. You could see the relative height of the person in the picture. And the space is very dynamic because you could see that the designer actually suggests that you could put in a bigger table instead of just that round. You could do that. Some flexibility. You could innovate with some sort of integrated type of furniture. Like this is an opportunity for a fold-out table if there is something that folds up or just closes to this side. Now this could be a cubby hole, and the table could be arranged as such. Or this could be just also a fold-out bed for guests if there are guests. This is where the television set was going to be. So more like this is a built-in. These are shelves. These are cabinets, and then the TV is here. So storage, like storage for stuff, and even the AVR or player for the TV. So there's a balcony here. It's good enough for placing a small table. So one level down. So this is always lower. So what are we going to do for this week? This week we'll be asking you to reiterate or improve your design for your room and some innovation that you would like to put in. So innovation in terms of what I showed you. Closet space, for example, it could be improved here if I wanted to implement that sort of pull out type. Don't worry about the mechanism, but those things could be solved, and there would be space here. So the clothes are going to be pulled out like that. Now, if you want to do some sort of way of imagining this, is really something like this. There's a hanger for clothes, so clothes will be hanging. And if this is a pull out, of course, the upper part could be other storage. So when you pull these out, there would be probably rollers here on this, and it would be there. And then if you're the user, that's to probably this high. So it's going to be like until the chest height, probably, of a person for these clothes. So clothes are going to be hanged here, and then of course this is going to go out like that. You could do this. And then some improvements to your layout. Of course, the toilet seems to be sufficient enough, but you could flush this thing. Well, you could move that wall to be a bit more bigger. If you want to accommodate, say, bathtub, but you need to know the dimensions of a bathtub. And this can act as a shower itself also at the same time. Now the counter is too small I realized that the counter is too small. So you could normally there would be by doing so now by moving this wall to that, you would therefore have more counter space. So this is not going to be touching, but rather, you go into the shower or bathtub right here. This is still separated by a wall of sorts. So that's going to be gone. And you can have storage like here for toiletries and the like. Here I'm seeing that, this space is too tight for a workspace. So therefore I want to expand it a bit more. So therefore it becomes this larger space counter, and I could have like two spaces for one for probably working on something like it's like a drafting table. Okay, so a drafting table, and then this could be your computer, or the other way around, because if you need light to draw, your drafting table could be there instead, and this could be just for your computer if you're doing CAD, and then therefore this one becomes then a in extension of the lanai or balcony. So there are things that you can expand on and improve on with your plans. So that's what we're going to be asking you to do this week 4, is to come up with another iteration, which is improving your dream bedroom. Like another thing that I found as a mistake is the niche for the TV is off-centered. So if you want to center this with CL is the symbol for center line, and this becomes then it's going to be centered here. Make some improvements, some innovations that you could implement onto your floor plan for this bedroom. Firstly, you take your present plan, which is the drafted. You're going to be using a colored pencil to improve upon it. So we would like to see that improvement or iterations, or shall we call this a markup of your plans. And if you're not liking what you see on the first iteration, of course you change the color of your colored pencil to be darker. So you could start out with the yellow color, then you move on to with the orange, you go into the green, and then the red, the blue, and you get darker and darker until you can have many iterations if you want over to the plan. So you're drawing up over your present floor plan. That's fine. You can record if you've already recorded this. That's fine also. So if I change my other ways of seeing this in sketching it out, like my workspace, I want this to be a bit more, or the bathroom, say I want to change up what ifs. So you could say that if the water closet, for example, is placed here and my bathtub is placed here, what would happen? So make other possibilities happen. To see iterations. Let's say this is my closet space, and I want this to be that. So this is going to be more of a shower area also, at the same time a bathtub. So it still works out, but is it better? But if you flip around, what if you want your toilet seat to be more there and your counter would be more from here? Does that work better for you? Because if you want the convenience of the water closet more than the counter over here, that would work out. So you could even switch up to another color, let's say the green, light green. You can make iterations like this with colored pencils. Like make iterations where what if your entrance is rather much here than there, and then I would have storage spaces here, and then the pull-outs over here for the clothes, and this gives me more privacy from the outside. So and the like. So you could have a lot more iterations and exploration on improving the plans. So the first iteration usually isn't the best idea that you could have. Sometimes in the office we do like 5 to 10 iterations and take a look at them in the end, and probably even combine some of the ideas from some of the iterations and combine to come up with another iteration. So week 4 is going to be more of improving the iterations. Okay, so you'll need to document every step if you can with different colors, and you can document this iterations of this over the number of iterations. You can do this now. You can use tracing paper or hopia paper or any translucent paper to trace over this, your plan, if you want to keep that safe. But you can do this with colored pencils, and then of course the final output of this is going to be drafted properly, scaled 1:50 onto a new sheet of paper. So that's it. This is very short, and you can cite, of course, your sources in You need to cite the designers of the original designs you are referencing from, and of course you can show those pictures. Anyway, this is it. Hoping that to see a better plan, another iteration of this. So until next week again, see you.